Snowflake shares are selling off here this morning, off just about 12%. That move to the downside is the biggest drop that we have seen, intraday drop since February. Now the move lower coming as investors do continue to worry about Snowflake falling behind on AI competition. For more, we want to bring in Brent Thill. He's Jefferies senior analyst. Brent, you currently have a buy rating on the stock, and I was going through your brief reaction to these results, and you said that actually the results were solid, yet we are still looking at this move, the significant move to the downside. So Brent, what's the street missing?
They're in an investment year, and they have a new CEO. Sridhar came in. He ran one of Google's biggest businesses, and they're pivoting from effectively a one focused platform to multiple products inside that platform, and it's going to take time. So Sridhar is putting a new level of innovation. That's going to take time. The margins are way down this year as they're investing in AI. And then I think the third element is the magnitude of the beat this quarter wasn't as great as in the past quarters. But if you look at the future indications of health of the company are basically backlog signings. So the backlog was up high 40%. It accelerated. That's again the future indication of health. So if the RPO number is going higher, reported backlogs going higher, that means reported revenue should track that number over time. So I think going forward, this is a big transition year. 24 is, as we call it, a pit stop. They're getting the bugs off the windshield. They're putting new tires on. They're changing the carburetor in the car. And we think that they're positioned for a much better 25 and 26. For long-term shareholders, I think it's a great buy. The company has a buyback. I wouldn't be surprised to see them accelerate the buyback. We think there's nothing wrong when you look at the growth. The short term, they're on the side of the road. It's a pit stop. But they've got the right leader. They've got the right strategy. I think the product line is going to only blossom as we go into next year. And there's one major competitor. It's Databricks. They're private.
Right.
Databricks is doing way better in AI than they are right now. But we think Snowflake will catch up, and it's not a one-horse race. There's a couple horses that are going to be able to do very well in this move towards data.
So let's talk about the AI of it all. How do you model the health of Snowflake's AI investment, particularly in the context of a market that has been rebuffing AI spend this earnings cycle that's not seen as particularly useful or beneficial?
You're not going to see any of the software companies benefit from AI this year because they're all buying NVIDIA, right? So as we've said, own infrastructure in AI this year for 24, not software, because the software companies, whether it's Amazon, Google, Microsoft, right? They're all software stories. They're investing in these AI platforms. None of these services are young. They're in their infancy. And so when you think about what Snowflake is doing, it's basically the same thing. Now, they're taking a bigger margin hit than others. Microsoft's showing higher margins. Snowflake's margins are going the wrong way. So, that is a very true statement. Like, is this going to work? Are they efficient? But we think it's the right move. When you think about, the companies that are betting on them, Disney, DoorDash, I mean, these are big, big investments in Snowflake, and they're holding all the data. Well, what do you need for AI? You need the data. And so we believe, again, underneath the leadership of Sridhar, that he will do the right thing for the platform. He will get in the AI game. They were very visible a year ago. They were nowhere in AI. They're in a much better spot. They're not where they need to be. No one in software is. I mean, it's a rounding error for every one of our software companies. So, AI is the story of infrastructure. 25 and 26 are the year of is a year of software and in AI, and so it's super, super early, and that's what you're betting on. Can Sridhar fix this? There was this guy named Satya Nadella at Microsoft that fixed the server business a bajillion years back. They had a virtualization problem, a database problem. They had a cloud problem. He fixed it. Stock was 30. He's the CEO of the company now. So I just look at this and say, is there an opportunity? What are the other analogies? The other analogies in our industry is what Nadella did the server business at Microsoft. And that worked out really well. So I'm not saying that Sridhar is going to be what Nadella was for Microsoft, but I'm betting based on some of the other metrics we're seeing that that should be beneficial for the company.
So, Brent, where does that leave then the valuation question? Because I feel like specifically, I mean, you can make this argument or you can bring up this question with a handful of AI names, but more specifically when it comes to Snowflake, is that a risk to the story at this point, and why or why not?
It's the biggest risk. It's the biggest risk. I mean, stock's always been expensive. I mean, back in COVID, it went to 50 times revenue. And it went from 50 times down to low teens, and now it's, again, we've said the support level will be 7-8 times forward, and that'll put you anywhere, between 90 and, call it 110. So you still have downside tactically short term because of multiple. And that's our biggest concern, which is software's been under duress. It's been an awful year to be a software analyst. As I've said many times, you want to be a semi and hardware analyst this year because that's where all AI is, all the spend's in there. It's not in software. I mean, I'm literally just sitting on the side of the road watching all the fun things go by, and I'm not part of it. So, but it will come to our group. And the point is, like, I'm not, and I've said this, a lot of our clients are short the stock, a lot of our clients are long the stock. The shorts are winning right now because tactically there is no catalyst. It's going to take another 6 to 9 months, maybe a year for this to play out. But if you're a longer term shareholder and you start to look at what is the world going to look like in AI, does data matter? And if there's only two big data platforms, which is Snowflake and Databricks, which is private, do you think the market for data can support two companies or one?
Brent.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Brent, that comment that you just made, that it's going to take 6 to 9 months, I believe, in order for this catalyst to really come to fruition for these names. Is that a Snowflake-specific issue, or it sounds like maybe that's more broadly within the software space that you cover?
The entire industry. Yeah. I mean, Microsoft told you a year ago that AI would be the fastest business to $10 billion. They haven't said peep about hitting that target. Microsoft's going to be a $250+ billion company. That means it's a low single digit percent of their total revenue. Amazon, they don't even break out the number. Google, how's the AI product going? Well, there's no financial impact right now. Like, so Salesforce, they're not selling AI. Adobe, it's tiny. I mean, go through Oracle, it's tiny. Like, it's tiny for everyone. It's not like this is Snowflake's losing and everyone else is winning. No one's winning in software and AI because it's so early. There's no revenue, but there will be. And so the point is, do you want to invest? Do you believe in that curve? Is it coming? Is it like what happened in the 90s with the internet? Do you believe it's coming or not? Some believe no, some believe yes. I believe I'm not on the most bullish end of that, but I do think it's going to be beneficial and it'll help. But remember, AI is one part of the Snowflake story. Disney and DoorDash, which my kids are addicted to and run my credit card up every month, literally on DoorDash, I mean, they probably make really intelligent decisions on what they do and how they target, what they set prices and where they put people and what restaurants they bring to the platform. I would assume they're using Snowflake to do that. Do you need AI to do that? No. But Snowflake is getting multi-$100 million plus accounts without AI. Right. So I think it just underscores, forget AI, take AI out of the conversation. Is this an important platform to help run companies and make better data decisions? The answer is yes. We at Jefferies use Snowflake. We're exporting our Salesforce.com data into Snowflake to make better customer decisions. So again, I think, right now, the bears are in camp. They're chewing through the garbage bins and the camp looks awful and no one wants to be there. And usually that's the time to buy. So I like it on this pullback. I think the leading indicator of health in RPO, which is their backlog growth, accelerated. That tells you they're signing more contract, growth's accelerating. And there's only one way that revenue can go. It goes up because you can't have good backlog and low revenue. We learned that from Amazon last year. High backlog growth, low revenue. Right. Amazon's accelerating revenue growth this year.